think on the one hand, there's immense challenge that we're talking about, but on the other, I think for me is this sense of immense possibility that exists in each of those small children. The sense that they have so much promise, not just for their own lives and their community, but for this whole country. And so today, I'm excited to be here to talk about ways in which these children can have a better future and a future full of hope and promise.
What tends to happen is rural schools are forgotten about, under-resourced, under-supported, and that makes obviously learning really challenging in those kinds of environments.
It's very, very difficult for us to recruit and retain, especially young teachers in these schools, because of the distance again, and also because of the conditions that we have in these schools, like poor infrastructure, lack of resources.
As government or as Department of Education alone, we are just a drop, but together we are in an ocean. We grow and then you grow.
You know what they say, it takes a village to raise a child. So we've realized, my department is also very big on public-private partnerships, because we've realized that the department cannot work alone.
This is a very good initiative, putting these heads together, brainstorming as to how best can we actually turn things around for rural schools.
We are so much involved into our education and system and the delivery that sometimes there's hardly enough time to sit and reflect. But when you have somebody coming from outside, at least they come objectively and they're able to not to criticize but to critique our operations, to say that look, there are gaps there, and they intervene in that specific way. So we basically need each other.
I mean, what was so good about today is this kind of spirit of we care about these kids and we want to do more, and in the room were people, with great intentions and great heart, but also real kind of capacity to get things done, and some, I think what was shared with lots of organizations that are working in this space, wanting to grow, wanting to increase the impact.
I established the Rural Education Directorate. We were not funded because it was a project when it started at the National Department of Basic Education. So I tended to use public-private partnerships. Most of the programs and the projects that we're implementing in rural schools are funded by our partners. So it has become a passion of mine. So the reason I came here is to listen to how everyone is supporting rural schools, also what we can learn from the support that we are getting, but more especially is what are the frustrations that we give them, what are the stumbling blocks.
Okay, so with this training that we're doing with the ECDOE, there's been quite a lot of partnering, and also we have what we call reference teams from each province, right? Whereby teams from curriculum are actually, we meet like regularly, kind of looking at what is in the content, what is in the workbooks, right? And kind of, I think for me, the main thing is important for an NGO to be flexible enough to see what is working on the field and also in the district, and be able to flexible to kind of adjust and customize that particular aspect.
This idea of getting people who care about rural education together in the same room, and we had thought Eastern Cape, but actually it turned out to be a national conversation, which was exciting. The second reason for getting people together was around this public school partnerships model, and it's now got to a stage where really I think there's something to offer to others around how they can work alongside a no-fee public school and really be a supportive partner to that school. I think it's just the general consensus or sense of like everybody feeling together that we can make things happen in communities that often that spirit of possibility is not there.
DBE was here, and when they came in with the support and even with a fresh understanding of what partnership in terms of what's been happening today was also just one highlight for me.
We are committing as the department that we are going to create some kind of a structure, maybe a framework for public-private partnerships so that everything is coordinated well.
The province made some interesting promises around, like possibly hosting a summit and where we get together to talk further with the right people in the room. And I think for us as an organization, we have a certain growth plan around adding schools to our network, but we're increasingly seeing our role as how do we support perhaps those new partners or smaller partners to start to do this work, and as much as we're still learning, to kind of help them on the learning journey as well.